Three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. Today is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for X of Burgers. Yes, you knew it had to come. Joining me, as always, is Stan the Man. Good to see you, Stan. Thank you so much for giving us this wonderful hobby that we all love and enjoy. I know a lot of the fake fans out there that are ruining the hobby have already forgotten about you, but we won't. Thank you so much. And also channel mascot and resident celebrity, expert on all things trash, Forky. Good to have you, Forky. Congratulations on that Oscar win, too, by the way. I forgot to mention. Yep, it is time for X of Burgers. I figured, if Marvel can be stupid, so can I, right? So all my haters right now be like, this is really stupid. Yeah, I guess. I know it's 10 of Swords. It's based on a tarot card. I know there's going to be just people right now ready to start firing away in the chat. This moron doesn't know anything. What I do know is burgers. And what I got here is a burger every week. I go to my favorite place, In-N-Out Burger, and I grab an In-N-Out Burger. Man, so delicious. If you don't have one of these, I feel bad for you. Look at that. Look at this deliciousness. Double with onions, extra spread, add pickle, and add ketchup on top of the spread. That's how I get my burger most of the time. It's my favorite way. And I'm going to munch this. But I got to tell you, these used to be, when I started doing this channel, I've been doing this less than 2 years. These used to be under $4. And now they're $4.60. So they've gone up, I want to say about like 70 cents since I started doing this. So over a period of almost 2 years, 70 cents. You go, that's not really much of an increase. But when you figure in the the actual price of the burger, a $4 burger or a 3-something burger going up 70 cents, that's a huge percentage. That's like a quarter. Is it a quarter? About a quarter of the cost. It's 25% increase. And you know why that is? It's because of $15 mandatory minimum wage. At the risk of getting political here real quick, just going to fire off a little rant because I'm pissed off. I live in California. When you raise the minimum wage to $15, all you're doing is raising the cost of living by $7 or $8 or whatever, how much you increase the minimum wage by. And so everyone else now has to pay that much more. The cost of living goes up $7 or $8 an hour, except the people who made more than $15 an hour don't actually get a raise typically. So they're actually, in effect, when all's said and done, making less because their dollar doesn't go as far. So I'm going to enjoy this great X of burgers, and we'll be back with Stan and Forky and Doggo over there. He doesn't care. I'll see you guys in a minute or second. See, that didn't take so long. A couple seconds. Magic of video editing. By the way, I forgot to mention, you got to always show your receipts. Look, they're so courteous. Thank you. That's my burger, $4.60. My order taker, my cashier was Justin. Thank you, Justin, for doing a good job making sure the burger was processed right. It was delicious. Everyone did a fantastic job. So this is going to be a shorter video. I don't really have a big subject matter thing to talk about like before. I talked about Sean Gordon Murphy on my X-Men #7 video. So if you are interested in hearing me rant about the hateful progressive left that's destroyed the comic industry, and they are just out to basically gatekeep and cancel anyone that doesn't think like them, then you can go listen to it there. There's also a little bit of talk about X-Men 7, but it's mostly about the Sean Gordon Murphy incident. This part is going to be about, I did an auction, I didn't do an auction. Englentine, aka I Love Comics, who is one of the original Comicsgate YouTubers going way back. He does auctions, I think it's every Saturday night. He auctions off comics, either from his collection or stuff that he picks up. I don't know where he gets this stuff. It's off the back of a truck somewhere. Who knows? Yeah. Anyways, he does these auctions. They run rather long. But anyways, I like Englentine. He's a good guy. And I decided to back some of his auctions. He sent me his stuff. So I thought I would show off on my comic haul what I got earlier in the week. I think I got these Friday in the mail. So it's going to be on this video. So the first thing I got was this nice Justice League Volume 1 hardcover. It's Jeff Johns Jim Lee, like one of my favorite artists, my favorite DC writer. Yeah, like I know people go, oh, it's New 52, and I'm like, I don't think it's hardcover. It also has, let's see here, if I can pop this open. It's got the Blu-ray and DVD of Justice League War in there. So this is all Jim Lee art, hardcover. It's pretty thick. So got that. I'll put this down here actually because we got more to come. He auctioned off Batman's, and Tom King Batman's actually from the Rebirth. So I got the Rebirth issue of Batman. I got the got those out of order. Got Batman number 1 from the Rebirth. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. So people might go, oh, Tom King Batman. I have been saying for the longest time that DC Rebirth Batman for Tom King started off terrific. I loved I Am Gotham. It's a really, really good story. Sitting here, like I don't multitask very well, as you can tell, as I'm sitting here shuffling stuff around. I can't keep my train of thought going. I love the Batman from Tom King. And it kind of went off the rails by the wedding issue. Some people thought it was a little before then. Some people thought it was good the whole way through. I'm kind of the former, but I Am Gotham I thought was a terrific story. Had tons of impact, great pacing. It was a Batman that I really enjoyed. I think I talked about this in another video. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Anyways, thank you, Englentine. So I got the Justice League, it was $6, and then the Batman as an entire lot was $6. So basically $1 a comic. All I need to do is get Batman number 6. I'll have the whole I Am Gotham run, which is cool because I collect Batman. I didn't have those, and I thought I'd pick them up at a good price. If you want to check out good comics or a good price, maybe see if you can find deals, check out his auctions. That's it. All right, now on to New Comic Book Day haul. It is Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's a big ritual. Go down to the comic store, buy new comics. And that's what you guys all care about, unless your name's Eric Breen, and then you're stuck in the 70s. But, you know, shrooms and acid will do that to you, right? Am I right? Forky knows. Don't you, Forky? And I bet Stan knows a little bit about that, too. Don't you, Stan? I bet you were pretty wild in the 70s. So as always, show your receipts. My purchase this week, I have a $25. It's not a limit. I can go over it, but it's like a soft cap. I'm really trying to make my comic trips every week be $25 or less. Really. And if I'm going over that, then I'm looking at books to pull. I shouldn't be spending that much on comics. There's no need to, especially when they're not that many good ones out there. And you know, I'm behind as it is. I gotta tell you, man, doing a YouTube channel really sucks up your comic book reading. You think I would read more, but honestly, I spend so much time like talking about comics and doing the videos for the comics and then getting on streams and talking to other people. It's just, I don't read them. I get backlogged. So this is really good for me. Plus, I just don't have the space. Like comic books, you think like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And then the next thing you know, 2 years later, you've got, I think right now I'm like at 7 short boxes over the, and that's just, if I'm going to be collecting, say 10 years down the road, that's going to just pile up. I don't want that. So I'm really going to go for the creme de la creme. That's what I'm going to shoot for. So let's get on with it. What did I get this week? Well, the first thing I got was actually from a couple weeks ago. For some reason, I didn't have this. I didn't pull it. I don't know. It's on my pull list, so should have come, but I didn't. So I have Usagi Yojimbo number 8. Number 9 is about to come out, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Anyways, this is a great comic. It's not new from this week, really, though. So it's just been sitting in my pull box because I saw it on the shelf. I was like, when did this come out? And I was like, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Anyways, they held it for me until I could check. And then I eventually went and took like 2 weeks for me to go through and check because I have a backlog of comics that are just sitting in like a big pile. And I kept forgetting to look. Anyways, so on with this week, keeping with the independent theme, a new exciting book has come out. Hopefully it's exciting. It's got a lot of potential based on the reputation of the creator. So this one is by Hickman and Huddleston. I got the B cover. I think this is the B cover. It's not the A cover, whatever it is. Something about the A cover just didn't strike me. Plus, they only had 3 copies left of the A cover, and the corners were all dinged. And I hate that. Like, when I'm just buying a new comic, I want my comic in, like, near mint, like, this pristine. Like, it's probably not going to be worth anything ever. But just in the off chance one day down the road, it's like a Walking Dead number 1. I wouldn't want, like, oh, I got the dinged cover. Like, so, and I did like this cover. It was just something just cool about it. It's not really comic booky, like it's more of a graphic design, but I have a certain that sort of stuff appeals to me. So I am out of X-Men. Okay, Dawn of X. I'm not going to say it's dead to me. That would be hyperbolic. But right now, Dawn of X is in a coma. It's like, and it's looking bleak. It's in the intensive care unit. I did a video on X-Men 5, 6, and then I did 7 with my rant. I don't even read like the Marauders or Excalibur. I thought I was like, I should just try to catch up on this and see what's going on. And I'm just like, I can't even get up the will to read these books. Like, I gotta tell you, I'm behind on the Superman stuff from Bendis because I just want to follow what's going on. I have more desire to read Bendis's Superman than I do these X books. They just are insufferable. I could go on and on. That's not what I'm here for. But I'm not anti-Hickman. That's my point. What I'm trying to make here is I do think Hickman has talent. I do think he is a quality writer. I don't think he's fooling people because Dawn of X, House of X is pretty phenomenal. Plus, a lot of people that I really trust, their opinions have said things about like East of West was fantastic, his Fantastic Four run, and more than just one person. So I'm going to give him a shot. And this is Decorum number 1. Tell me if you guys are excited about it, interested in it, couldn't give a shit, what have you. Anyways, moving on to Marvel. We have Venom Island 24. I feel like part 4 of Venom Island. I feel like more than 4 parts of Venom Island have come out already. I haven't been. I'm gonna be honest here. I haven't read Venom Island at all. Like I stopped reading Venom after Venom Island started. After the whole Absolute Carnage thing came out. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy Absolute Carnage. The ending was a little bit underwhelming because it's kind of like a setup for more things to come, which is, that's comics. But I was underwhelming because Absolute Carnage was a miniseries, and when you're telling an ongoing story, like you're just doing, if it were like Venom issue 20. I wouldn't care that it was like, left off with a cliffhanger, more to come. That's kind of what ongoing comics are always doing. It's just the perpetual motion. But a miniseries is beginning and end. Absolute Carnage was 5 issues with a bunch of spin-offs that were pointless. The first issue was massive, triple size. So, I mean, you had plenty of room in there to tell a finite story and resolve it and make it feel solid, and they didn't really do that. But had the Absolute Carnage issues, those 5 issues, had they actually just been Venom issues instead, and it would have just been a storyline, I think it would have been a lot more forgivable. I think it would have been a lot more digestible as a fan. That's what I would have liked to have seen. So anyways, after it was all kind of said and done, I was a little bit kind of tired out, and I was not as enthused about Venom Island. Also, I don't think Bagley is the right choice to do, like, pick up from Stegman. Like, you should get Kyle Hotz. The dude's not doing anything. But he's drawing these magnificent Venom covers. Just have him do the interiors if Ryan Stegman's not going to do it. Anyways, I'm just going off. I am going to read these, and I'm not hating on Bagley. It just, his style is massively different than what was going on with Venom before. I'd like to see Bagley actually on Spider-Man. Next in Marvel, we have Thor, number 4, the book that I got Eric Breen to buy new on the shelves, Thor, by Donny Cates. And when you can get Eric Breen to buy new comics, that's making a difference in the world, folks. I can die fulfilled. Anyways, Thor is as good as I would hope it would be. I mean, it's not earth-shattering, but it's a really solid, enjoyable book. Donny Cates is doing what Donny Cates does, which is bring a fresh new, not a fresh take on the character, but interjecting fresh ideas into the mythos. And I really like that. Aside from, like, not aside, but if I draw a comparison to, like, Bendis, who kind of does the same thing, Bendis doesn't do fresh. Bendis just takes everything and, like, turns it upside down. Like, he just goes over and is like, oh, here's a vase on the counter. Let's just turn it upside down. Oh, here's these chairs around the table. Let's just spin them around that they're backwards. He just goes and he does in his books, and he just changes everything arbitrarily for change's sake. There's no real creative, there's reason, there's no real interest, and the character walks away fundamentally different. Where the difference here, like with Thor, what I love about what Cates does, and even better with Venom, is he keeps to the core of the character that you fans love. He shows reverence for that character, but then he builds onto it. Thor here is Thor. He's not trying to go, oh, look, I'm going to totally radically just make Thor a different character. What he's doing is he's like, what if the Thor that you know and love, that's gone through all these things, now goes to this new thing, which is, spoiler, he's a herald of Galactus. That's a big change to the character, but it's not fundamentally changing who Thor is. It's an add-on that can, of course, also be subtracted. I like the book. It's got good art, good writing. This is what Marvel Comics should be. And I also really like that Donny Cates does his own internal continuity. What he does in his own books splatters and kind of carries over through all the other books that he does in the future and picks up from stuff in the past. You know, for example, his Thanos Wins storyline that he did in Thanos back like in 2017 featured Silver Surfer Black. We didn't know it was Silver Surfer Black. He was just called the Fallen One, but then he did his Silver Surfer miniseries later on, and it's like, oh, so I'm not going to spoil anything more because that appearance of the Fallen One was it was baller, to use a term that's way too hip and young for my old ass. Moving on to DC, we got Flash. That old-time viewers of the channel will know why I picked that up. Flash, man, I feel like I've been picking these Flash issues up since like the 40s or 50s, and it's already on 751. I've been buying Flash for a long time. Stupid DC. Oh my goodness. And last but not least, also in DC is Hawkman, number 22. I'm so excited that it's made 22 issues. I hope it keeps going. Venditti is telling this great story. This book needs recognition. I really have come to love this character as a villain, Sky Tyrant. I think it's a great Hawkman villain. I like how Venditti creatively used it with this kind of lackluster Year of the Villain event. Check Hawkman out. If you're really curious, you can start picking up the book. I think this is probably the last issue of this run. Guessing by the cover, I'm not exactly sure. But, not run, I'm saying arc. But I urge you to get Hawkman 1 through 12. It's a 2-part epic storyline that goes issues 1 through 7 and then 8 through 12. I say that because the trade paperbacks are 1 through 6 and 7 through 12. So if you read the first trade paperback, you don't actually get the end sort of first part of the story, because issue 7 kind of tells an origin story and it links the two together. It's really important. it's where the series kind of crests the top, like a roller coaster climbing up, tick 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 to the top, and you have that little crest and a little pause right in the beginning before it's just like whoosh down. That's issue 7. So if you do get the trade paperback and you read them, bear that in mind before it's like you over and you're like, oh, that wasn't as good as Ash made it out to be. You got to finish through issue 7. And then issues 8 through 12 are from fantastic. It's just all like climax. So this is what I got this week. Let's see, fanning them out. What do you think is going to be the best? What do you think is going to be the worst? How many times do you think Quirks is going to copy me doing this? It doesn't matter. I think I copied Trajan Channel, so it's not like I'm being original. Man, these are some good books. I don't pick up anything bad anymore. I'm going to have to put Forky over here on the Jonathan Hickman book just because it's an unknown and just because Hickman has written some of the worst comics I've read in the past year. New Mutants #2, holy shit. X-Men #4, holy shit. Terrible stuff. Terrible. But then he wrote House of X, Powers of X. I don't know. I think the guy's like multiple personality. Just I don't know. Or maybe he's got a ghostwriter. Maybe he's just outsourcing it to some dude in India to write his comics for him. Stranger things have happened, right? Stan is going to pick... What are you going to pick, Stan? You're going with the Hawkman. Stan's a DC guy today. What can I say? Hawkman's great. Robert Venditti's fantastic. Looks like they got a new artist. I'm curious to see. That's my pulls. Hopefully you guys had some good pulls. Tell me in the comments below what you guys are pulling. Tell me, do you have any rituals and things that you do on the week? Do you go get a burger? I'm the only one who gets a burger, but sound like a cool idea. Maybe get a beer. Yeah, beer and comics. That'd be pretty cool. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I stretched this out long enough because that's what I do. Thank you so much for watching, and have a happy new comic book day.